You are listening to SheKings with Erica and Allie. This is a podcast for peasants who don't want to live shitty lives. Every week we share insights on how to stop living out of habit and start living out of inspiration. So let's do this. Welcome everyone. Happy second. No, it's the first week of July.
Is it the first?
It is the first week of July. Yeah. Time is
first full week.
Right along. How was well, first of all, welcome to SheKings, everyone.
Yeah,
welcome.
that's right. So we are SheKings. Yes, we are. And every week we bring clarity to overused spiritual buzzword and little known spiritual concepts so that you can live a life with more freedom and ease. Yeah. This is episode 49. You've just got this one and one more before we take a break.
It's summertime, people. It is summertime. It is time to take cat naps in the sun. Not to be on a schedule. That's what my summer is about. What about you?
Ooh, yeah. I have like a couple of talks coming up, and I feel like I'm not on a schedule. And first of all, I hate schedules, generally speaking, but I got shit to do. I have got energy to kick out and organize and everything like that. So yeah, good times.
Yeah, I'm excited. A lot of fun stuff at the studio. And we're not in lockdown again. I'm not saying that we're not going to get there, but I'm saying we're not just yet. So that's exciting.
So that's good. And I've been seeing your pictures on the Instagrams.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks like you are doing the things.
Yeah, it's been really fun. And we had our Juneteenth Junior on the 4th. So to celebrate what the 4th is for us. And yeah, so we've been.
Oh, that's super. That's smart. I didn't get that, but yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
With all Black bodies, you see where we're going with this.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That 4th of July situation was not quite the come through for the Blacks now, was it?
It certainly was not. And I posted the speech that Frederick Douglass did on the 4th of July.
Oh yeah, I read that. That was pretty.
Isn't that good?
It was pretty good.
I love it.
Like, what is this, a mockery? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What do you want to say? So you invite me here so I can say what exactly? But I feel like, and we don't have a political podcast, but I feel like that is a tendency of folks to put other folks in a situation to try to soothe their souls, and it's like, that's not my job, bro. Yeah. And I feel like Frederick Douglass was saying it all that long ago. And I think one of the things as humans, but definitely as a Black woman, that is so interesting to me about this point in history right now is how many times we have gotten here. How many times we've gotten here. I'm giving a talk tomorrow, having a conversation, and it's just so interesting. It's like George Floyd wasn't the first one. Yeah. And and Rodney King, that was another like big high-pitched one. The assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that was another big one. Emmett Till, another big one. And it's like these massive moments in history where white people wake up and like finally want to take a brief glance at the injustices of this world, and it's like, yeah, bro, like we've been saying this for a real long time, and why somebody needs to be, fucking murdered for you. And like, that's not even fair, right? Because like the number of nameless people who were murdered and it just didn't get the press because it wasn't filmed. Yeah. Right? And you think about all of these things, like Emmett Till, that one wasn't filmed, but the mom was like, keep the casket open. Look at what you did to my baby. Right? And then that's what gets into the conscience of people when they have to come face to face. It's not something they can oh, I didn't notice, I didn't hear, I didn't whatever. It's like, no, look at this. Y'all come over here and look at this, what these people are doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting.
It is. And it's, I mean, it goes right into our topic for today because it has been just interesting energy. It has been heavy energy, just a lot of stuff that is happening. And I will go into the universe is laughing at us, but let's shift it to where the universe has our back.
Okay.
Because I'm not in the mindset. I'm like, no, too
Lady
heavy.
Yours is always laughing.
It is always laughing. Just let's just be clear. It's always laughing. Where the universe has our backs is I'm really feeling it now. I'm seeing it now. Is whenever I get into this heavy place, and we're going to talk about this, it's always something comes to light to guide you out of it if you have your eyes open. And so that's where I feel the universe is totally has my back because man, I've been doing some healing work, but I
Yeah.
haven't been in this place of like just crazy anger, depression, sadness, because something always shows up to like pull me out of it. And I'm just like, thank you, universe. Like, thank you.
Do you
I,
have an example?
yeah. I will, well, let's, because this is part of the, our talk, I want to get
Mm-hmm.
into that. I want to get into that a little deeper as far as,
Okay.
well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today?
I feel like I'm so obsessed with this name that we may have named an episode this, in which case we'll have two, but one one will be called episode 49. Okay. So this is we're talking about when things fall apart. And by that, it's when things get icky, to put it in that language, when you start to feel that uncomfortable energy, and many times you can't put your finger on exactly where it is coming from.
Yeah.
Why did we choose this for this week?
Ooh. I mean, what else could we possibly have talked about? We have but we have four or five planets in retrograde. We have
Mm-hmm.
the eclipse that just happened, right? We had the eclipse portal that opened like a week to 2 weeks ago. Like
Oh
so
yeah.
much energy that is happening. Like, how can we not talk about this? Because I mean, all my clients, my yoga students, like everybody's feeling it, but they don't know what it is. And so the minute they get some clarity, they're just like, oh, okay, so I'm not going crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so funny because I'm just seeing it everywhere as well. Also with clients, also just looking around on the interwebs, people talking about, oh, I woke up this morning feeling anxiety. I woke up feeling triggered, and I woke up, and I think, getting even deeper into why we're talking about it, sometimes I'm noticing that people are identifying a reason for it, right? They're like pulling from, they're like, what here doesn't belong here? Or what here do I think is the reason? Because it seems like, with what we just talked about, all of this sort of energy that is in the air with the shifting of the planets, this is just how people are feeling right now. But people want a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe there's not one. You know what I mean? Maybe there's not one in your life. Maybe there's not one that you
Right.
can put your finger on that's going to make it all better.
Right. Because we go into fix mode. If it doesn't feel good, let's fix it. If that person's not happy, oh my gosh, let's fix them. Let's make them happy. Like that is just who we are in humans.
Yeah.
Let me convince you that I'm right. Like it's just constantly doing. So yeah, when we don't feel good, it's yeah, it's painful. We want to fix it to
We
feel.
want to fix it, or what a lot of people do, right? I think that there are the fixers of us who are like, okay, let me go into my spiritual practice, or let me, um, call my coach, or let me, whatever it is that we do. But a lot of us, and I can recognize this in myself, a lot of us try to suppress it, repress it, resist it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So as I feel that like strange sort of anxious energy coming up, especially because that's something that was so prominent in my past, I immediately am like, no, like what is that? Right. And it is just like, what do I do to fix this energy? Because I am um I guess I'm so used to fixing it. I'm so used to resisting it. I'm so used to pushing it away and telling myself I should be feeling different. Um, that yeah, it's like as soon as I feel the energy, the immediate pattern kicks in, resist. Don't feel this way. There isn't a reason to feel this way. And then maybe it goes on to that next level of trying to fix it as well. But nobody wants to feel the shitty like
Nobody.
like unbalanced energy when it comes into the air. And I think that, we were talking about, just what we're seeing with our clients. But I remember when I first started to realize with my clients when I lived on the island, because people would come to me, how consistent the energy was. So consistent. It was on a week by week by week basis. I was like, this is the theme of the week. This is the theme of the week. And now, even on the phone calls, it's like, this is the theme of the week. But then once you notice it's the theme, you're like, then why are we even talking about this? Like, let's just get back to like the actual issue at hand because it's not real.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is true. And I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So what's next?
So when we feel, right? So then when we tap into the feeling, like then to question, why am I feeling this? So what you said, the theme, let go of the theme and kind of be with what's going on.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, and this is where I'll circle back around for the universe. I did the things, right? I did the why am I feeling this? So Sunday, it hit Sunday. So that was the eclipse. Like I woke up with just crazy anxiety. And it wasn't like, it was this. I would think about getting up out of bed to get some water, and I would have anxiety around it. Like
Yeah.
to the point where I was almost crying.
Yeah.
Oh my, I've never had it this intense before. Like usually I'm just like, really, do your thing, get up, get some water. This like was so heavy. And then, so I have like sliding glass windows, and then I have like a little balcony outside my room, and I have plants. And I was like looking at them, I was like, they need water. And then the thought of getting up to water my plants again triggered anxiety, and I almost started crying. And that went into Monday and Tuesday, where I finally went and got some acupuncture because my head, like I felt like I was underwater and nothing was clicking. So I went and I got some acupuncture. I had to cancel all my stuff yesterday. But just like this constant, like I need to cry. Like I
Mm-hmm.
need to cry. I'm so anxious about just my thoughts alone.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is where I was, right? Just heavy, heavy, heavy. I finally had to pull out of it because I had a full day today. And so my friend Wakenda was here, and she was just checking in. She's got back from seeing her family, and she was just checking in. And I was explaining to her, and she starts to tear up. And
She should have.
she goes, girl, that's how I am, like every day almost. Because I've worked with her with some heavy anxiety. And I just like, so then I felt I was like, oh my God, now I get it, what you're going through.
Yeah.
But this is what she said that the universe said to me through her. And she says, you have, because we talked about all my healing that's been coming up, doing this Black Lives Matter and really stepping up and using my voice. She says, you haven't moved your grief.
Praise the Lord.
And she goes, that grief is there and it needs to be
Yeah.
moved. And she just goes, that's it for you. And it clicked. I was just like, because I haven't been using my grief, moving my grief.
Yeah.
I haven't at all. I haven't had a really good cry in a long time. Like I've just been just busy, busy, busy stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really haven't processed grief. So that's where the universe has my back. Like, because it was, I mean, I had to take a stimulant today to get moving. That's how I was like, oh, I can't, not another day.
Yeah.
but now that I know, I will honor moving the grief, however it wants to move, whether I just have a good cry tonight, tomorrow. I'm going to go see our grandbabies, and that always makes me cry. So
Yeah.
just letting it go. So, um, yeah. So what if people can't get a handle on like moving through it? Like, what are your suggestions with that?
Well, I think that, you know, what you said really resonated with me, and also
Mm-hmm.
Wakanda,
Wakinda.
Wakanda. I'm like Wakanda forever. Wakanda, sorry.
Well, she is blonde, blonde, white, white, and her name's Wakenda. And I'm just like, I like you, girl. So we've been friends for like whatever, 7, 8 years.
Like come into the fold.
She's
Totally fine.
awesome.
But it really resonated what you guys were talking. It really resonated with me what you guys were talking about, because I really struggled with that level of anxiety for like huge swaths of my life. Like that, like I can't leave the house anxiety. And I nobody believes it, right? And I think that I always put on a very good face because most of the time I was leaving the house, but it was debilitating. And like you, with her, I remember having a friend who tell me that's not normal. It's not normal to be as anxious as you are. It's not normal to be as depressed as you can be. And it was really, for me, it was such a massive wake up call. And I feel like, you know, back to what I was saying earlier, it really did set me up so that now when I start to feel that coming in, there is this um, very immediate pattern that wants to kick in to resist it. But if it's overwhelming like it was for you, then like, of course, I think that we have a tendency to think, I've got to sit in it, even though a lot of times you do. Like, but if you need support, right? You know, even when I'm working with clients, if you need to go to someone who can prescribe you something, then absolutely go to someone and get that support so that you can get over the hump. Where I think that when we get into the space of spirituality, there is so much judgment if you can't sit with it, or if you need any sort of outside support that's not deemed spiritual or acceptable, or not what some other person does for their own approach. And I think that you and I can be like jokingly very judgy, but it's a joke. You need to do what you need to do.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, like do it, handle it. But I think for me, having come so far through anxiety over the years, what came up for me is that anxiety started to kick up this time was not just sit with it, but actually, um, and I was listening to this storyteller, and I cannot remember her name. Shame on me, but she used this uh, metaphor that shifted my world. She said that, actually, she didn't say it like this, but this is what I took from it. This is how I'm going to use it. So all of my clients, get ready. You're going to hear this on a call soon. she, she talked about how, um, well, I talk about now how the you are the ocean, and essentially these emotions, these sensations that are coming up are the waves, but that is just surface. And so you have this, when you think about the ocean, just this vast amount of stillness and consistency that is there, that we don't put our attention on that, right? We want to look at the waves, but there's something in our own lives, we want to look at the waves. But what I decided to do this time was to allow myself to turn my attention to the stillness and really keep my energy and my focus stayed on the stillness, even as, because the anxiety is even here right now. I feel it when I turn my attention to it. And even when I don't, it's in the background, that the waves are rocking. They're doing what they're doing, but there is this immense stillness that's there. So that's one thing that really, really helped me. And I think that the other concept that I've really been looking at from the perspective of non duality is that the non location of who and what we truly are.
Mm.
So we associate ourselves so fully with this body. And so the body's anxiety is our anxiety. But I've also, in with the movement of whatever, I've been feeling so much stillness and so much peace as well. And so, mm-mm.
Yeah.
So I will have, you know, a week of just perfect peace. And the tendency is to want to associate myself with the body, to want to take credit for being so peaceful. Look at everything I've done. And it's like, even in those situations, just to remember, like, I am not this and I'm not located in this body. Who and what I am, it has no location. And to just be with it from that sort of perspective of, hmm, I can't even think of the word, but I think that if you're listening closely, you can feel what I'm talking about. We don't have to take responsibility for every single thing, good or bad. Just let it be.
Yeah. And
Um,
that plays in a lot of what you said last time too, is no, you didn't say that. You posted it on your Facebook. It's when you allow your emotions to take control that you're not free. So then just allowing yourself to feel free like the ocean, and then just noticing the waves, but you're still free regardless of what emotion comes up. It's when you like attach yourself to it, then
Absolutely.
then it locks you in.
Absolutely. And it can become so overwhelming. You know, if you get caught in the waves in real life or emotionally within yourself, it can take all you have trying to fight them. And so just stepping out of paying attention to the waves or associating yourself with the waves is so awesome. Um, Allie, what else do you recommend for people who are feeling this energy that is kind of floating in the air right now?
I am telling you, we are in it. So everything will be out of retrograde on the 12th. So hang in there, people. We're almost there.
The
And
12th of July?
of July.
What? I
Yeah.
thought we were in August. Okay.
For all of them to be out of retrograde. I'm not saying that there won't be some more shit coming up, but
Yeah.
there's a big shift that's like lightning on the 12th of July.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but know that this is going to be just like the ocean waves for the rest
Yeah.
of the year. Like it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
we're in some important times. So I mean, use all the tools, like all the tools that we've invited you to do, like tapping, right? Go to YouTube. There's so many videos on tapping just to give you some relief. Um,
Hmm.
Automatic writing, just let it flow out.
Hmm.
Um, Going, take a nap, go for a walk, get out in nature, garden, whatever it is, listen to music. That was one of your favorite ones. Just find something to support that in that moment if you can.
Yeah.
Um, and I think music, like if I don't want to get out of bed, like I'll just turn on some music and just breathe. And that feels really good in my body
Hmm.
until I can be like, all right, let's do something. And I'm telling you, this is the first time I've ever felt this on this level before in my life. Like this was just some
Oh,
crazy
wow.
shit. And so, man, my heart goes out for people who like this is their reality,
Yeah.
like constantly. Because like the other, like I was just telling Mark, he's like, just lay there, like cry, like because he hasn't seen me like this either. And I was
Yeah.
like, what's going on? But now that the universe gave me that message of like, move your grief's not moving, like move
Absolutely.
it. And then
Absolutely.
be open to what message comes to you, whether it's from a friend or a book or a video or whatever. Like be open, but you must do the work. You have to do the work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know what I think is what I think is interesting about what we're saying about this work is it is, you know, a lot of times you and I will recommend some, like, you know, deep questioning or some deep diving into, but this work is actually, it's really different. And even in the idea of like fixing, it's almost like in some ways redirecting. It's almost in some ways, I think all of it can kind of fall into the space of just accepting what is and just sort of letting it move as it wants to move, as opposed to trying to dive deep. Because even with my coaching clients, I'm like, yeah, it's just not the energy right now of trying to do that sort of deep talking. spiritual work
Yep.
and that sort of deep unpacking spiritual work. This is very much it's a different level of work. You know, you look at the recommendations that we're giving, they're really resonant with the energy that we're in. Tapping is not, it's like acknowledging what is, right? And it's following it through as the shift wants to happen on its own, right? Automatic writing is just like letting it come out. It's not, let me give you some journal questions. Look at it this way, look at that. No, it's just like let it flow out on its own. Going for a walk, being in nature, listening to music, it's just this energy is calling for, and you know, I keep stumbling over the words, just calling for something very different than like assuming that there's something for you to fix. It's like this might be something for you to process.
Right.
It might be something for you to embrace. It might be something for you to acknowledge, but you're not fucking broken, dude. And like, it's just the energy that's in the air. This is just the fucking vibe we're in. And you'll go crazy in this sort of energy trying to fix yourself because it doesn't make any sense actually in this kind of energy.
Yeah. But in everything that we just suggested, the tapping, the writing, the going for a walk, it does support that whole wave, right? Just easy going things, like just flow in, do some tapping, see where you're at, flow out, right? Go for a walk, let the breeze fill up your body, go over your body. Just like, it's all very gentle type of support for
Gentle.
the body. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So I mean, I think that the homework might be quite clear based on the recommendations that we've given, but do you have anything more specific that you recommend?
I don't. It's just to be mindful. And I like to tell people, like, do some research, see where the planets are, see what's going on outside of you. That really helped me. My daughter really got me into uh astrology and stuff. And she's constantly calling me every day to be like, Mom, listen, this planet is going to be here, so don't make any financial decisions. I'm like, okay, okay. But just knowing, and I'm not saying let that rule you. Like, don't be like, oh my gosh, I can't do this and this because Saturn is doing its thing. When when you have an idea, it's so empowering. It just makes sense. It brings everything together because we're a part of it all. So that would be my only extra that I would have. Like, if you're not into that, and I'm not saying deep dive, just like kind of breeze through it and just be like, okay, now I get it. Like, this makes sense to why I'm feeling this way. Because if the moon can affect the ocean tides, it's energy. We're all water, right? We are being affected on so many levels, physical, energetically, emotionally, because of what's going on with the planets, with the eclipse, with all the things. We are affected. And
Yep.
so the more you know, then I think that just brings just a different level of empowerment um, to how you respond.
Absolutely. And it is also taking that deep dive into astrology or light dive into astrology. It can also just help you to take your attention to something else right now, other than how strange you feel. So give it
I
a try.
I think I sent it to you. Oh my gosh, it's a meme, and it has all the planets, and it has Mercury, and it's like Mercury in retrograde, and it's like laughing really evilly. It's like with a big mouth, and then it has other little planets just like crying, and then there's one planet over here that's saying just ignore them. Because the shit's going on up there and we're down here like all, oh my god, what's happening? But I mean, if the planets know, fucking Saturn's going crazy because it's in
Yeah.
retrograde or whatever, and the planets are just like, God, just ignore them. The
Yeah.
more you
But
know.
Mercury is the worst. Like that was the first, like one of the first true things that I learned when Willem and I started dating, that
Mm.
when Mercury goes retrograde, our entire relationship falls apart every time. But here's the crazy part, and this is how fucked up this energy is. We're doing great. Like,
Yeah, you have 5 planets in retrograde, and you're just like, oh no, this is actually really, really good for us.
yeah, we're totally fine. But like usually, so like the energy right now is bad shit, crazy. that
Yeah,
Mercury has gone retrograde and he and I are still like high-fiving and having the best time ever.
that's wonderful. It's the portal for the eclipse. It's just like, I've got you guys. I've got you.
Yeah, man. Listen. So
Uh,
anyway, that's the show, guys. We just wanted to acknowledge what we've been feeling, what we've been acknowledging other people feeling and observing other people feeling. And we hope that it helps you. And it might seem silly, but like even I don't listen to enough music. Today I listened to music and like me and Kendrick Lamar had a time and it
I,
just changed everything. So take our little light little advice and just give it a shot.
it'll change your world,
You'll change it.
literally.
Figure it out. So Ellie, where can people find you?
Mm. I am Ellie Duncan Be Seen on all the socials, and I am ellieduncan.com for my website, and Urban Sanctuary for my studio. That's it.
Oh,
Those are all the things done and done. What about you?
oh. You can find me at Erica Danielle Overshares on Facebook and on Instagram. And also, I will leave in the comments uh, an invite to next week's um, open meeting. So if anybody wants to come and take a deep spiritual dive with me, then yeah, come hang out. It is meditation, it's a little talk, and then some one on one spiritual guidance and coaching. So that is in the comments.
Sweet. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you go to YouTube, give us a thumbs up, and also 5 stars on iTunes, Google Play. Where else are we? We do have our own Patreon account. So if you would like to donate $8 a month to help us keep this going, that would be fantastic. Yeah, so do all the things. You know the routine, people. You know the routine.
Share. Sharing's caring.
Share.
Just share when you see our stuff come across the screen.
All right,
Okay.
everyone.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.